What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And today I want to share a prison story with you guys. This is a very crazy story. This is hands down probably going to be one of the craziest prison stories I've ever told to you, if not the craziest. It's also probably going to be hard to believe, but my hands to God, it's the truth. I don't know where my heart is at. Boy, Joe don't know where his heart's at. He sound cold-blooded though. Folks, this story that I want to share with you takes place at the very last prison I was at, a place I would spend 2.5 years at, a place called Indian Creek. Not so much a prison as they like to refer to it as a therapeutic community. This was, though, a level 2 prison, make no mistakes about it. I don't care what you want to call this place. It was a prison. It had its fair share of everything that you would find at a prison. Crazy young folks, crazy old heads who are the most institutionalized, state-struck people you'll ever run across in your life, telling you you can't walk on their buffed floors with your shoes on. These floors don't belong to you, yet you've got them shining better than any floor you'll ever see in Walmart. There also was a wide variety of gangs at this prison, and also quite a bit of violence as well. And something else that you'll find in any prison, anywhere, jail, anything like that, you're gonna have your gay dudes. Now, the first thing I need to say is this story definitely pertains to a couple of the gay people who were at this prison with me. And I also need to say this, I've got no problem whatsoever with anybody who lives their life any way that they choose to. If you're gay, that's totally okay. Look at my hair. Hell, I look gay. I'm not, though. I just look this way. So again, this story pertains to a couple at this prison, 2 guys. They were together. Everybody knew that they were together, and they were pretty decent individuals as well. And if we're being honest, I dealt with these guys on a daily basis. And one thing that you're gonna learn about serving time in prison, I don't care who you are, I don't care how big, how bad, how tough, how Mr. T you think that you are, I don't care if you've got a tsunami's worth of teardrops tattooed on your face. You're gonna find yourself in situations where you're gonna have to deal with the gay dudes. You're gonna have certain gangs and people and sorts of people who run different things. Mostly it's gonna be the gangs, but don't get it twisted for a second. The gay dudes in certain cases got their own type of things that they run and that they're in control of. And if you want access to those things, and we ain't talking about nothing crazy here, I can already see how this could be going into a dirtier section. I'm talking about completely above board here. And in this story, I'm gonna prove just that. But regardless, with all of that being mentioned, what do you say we go ahead and dive head first into this absolutely crazy prison story, something that I like to refer to as the greatest prison love story you'll ever hear, or the absolute craziest one. Folks, it was at this level 2 therapeutic community prison where they had different buildings. You've got your different housing unit buildings. There's 6 of those. You've got an isolation building. You've got a chow hall building that's connected to an enterprise. That's a big place where guys work at. At this particular enterprise, which is basically just a warehouse, guys put cleaning supplies inside of bags. They made good money to do that. You've also got your gym, which is connected to your classrooms. And then you've got one other building, an exclusive building, a special privileges type of building where a lot of really cool, fun prison activities took place. Now, this building was referred to as Smith Hall. And I'm guessing the name for this building came from somebody because there was a painting as soon as you walked into this building of Mr. Smith, whoever the hell he was. And I don't know how he ended up getting this building named after him, but that was the name of this building. And the best way that I can describe this building is it sort of was like a double wide trailer. Imagine a double wide. You've got the front side, you've got the back side. And in the front side, you had these auxiliary rooms that were used for different things. They had an art room that was there. They had an acting class that was there. They used to actually put on plays at this prison. Folks, I'm trying to tell y'all, I am a convict. I've been to prisons where they put on plays and prisoners think that they actors and such. And you know what, the fact that I do After Prison Show now and I'm kind of like Tom Cruise of the internet, you might imagine that Joe would partake in the acting class. I didn't, though. I was cool with a lot of guys who did it. They also had a rap class. They also had a business class. Let me get back to this rap class real quick. There were a lot of rooms in this building, these auxiliary rooms, that prisoners could create their own classes and hold those classes inside of these rooms. And what you had to do was you had to know somebody who knew somebody, write a request form, write up a mission statement. What exactly y'all gonna do in this class? They had a rap class. And I can't even imagine what they put on that request form to be able to get this class. Can we get us a rap class though? I'm trying to say this joint gonna be super positive. Why is the class gonna be positive? We all like Tekashi 6ix9ine, I'm saying though. We know about doing the right thing. And sometimes you gotta tell to do the right thing. Give us the rap class. They had a rap class. There was an art room. There was a study hall. There was the acting class. There was the rap class. There was this business entrepreneurship class. There were all sorts of different classes that took place up here at this Smith Hall. But that was on the front side of this building. On the back side of this building, which required like a key card to get through this, I mean, you wasn't getting back here unless you was invited. And some prisoners actually did get invited. But in that back area was the counselor's headquarters. And we've spoken a lot about this prison and the counselors that work there. You know, these counselors would come in and they would oftentimes be young women. Young women just getting started out, fresh out of college, getting ready to start their careers. And I can't believe and understand why they would ever want to do so at this place. Because, you know, for the prisoners, and even though there was a lot of gangs and violence, this place was like a college campus. You're walking around all day long seeing these young women walking around and you can't even imagine the type of game and gimmicks that prisoners would be running in an effort to try to get the attention of these young ladies. And you know, sometimes it actually worked. A lot of times it actually did. The turnover rate with these counselors was so high that it was at least once a week you were seeing a prisoner go to the hole and you were seeing a counselor get escorted off of the prison compound by 2 or 3 guards like she would walk in the Green Mile. You've been fired for fraternizing with the prisoners. Happened many a time, many a time. In the 2.5 years that I was there, I probably saw it happen at least 30 times. But we're not gonna focus too much on the back of this building because that really doesn't have anything to do with this story. I just wanted to paint the picture for you guys a little bit. This story takes place in the front of the building where the prisoners did have access to this. Now, when you went into Smith Hall, you had to be recognized as somebody who belonged there because you did have a guard who would be stationed there, and then you did have another guard in the form of an inmate police who used to walk those halls more than the actual guard did. So when you go in there, you better have your pass ready right there saying that you belong here, or you better be somebody like me who had like one of the sweetest prison jobs ever. I was a mural painter. I had the green light to the entire prison. There wasn't no red lights. I was going anywhere I wanted to go. Mural painter Guerrero here, I'm going over to the art room. Say something if you want to. Better recognize the warden likes me. I tell the warden on you. I will tell the warden. Try to say I can't come up in here. Now, like I said, you got certain types of people who run certain things. I couldn't go up into that rap room if I wanted to. The Bloods ran that. Even though I was cool with 1 or 2 of them. Joe, what you trying to do? Whoa, Joe, what you doing trying to come up in here? We having a meeting, we having a debate about politics, and we ain't talking about prison politics. We talking about the election coming up. You ain't coming up in here. Better carry your ass over to that art room where you belong at. The art room. That was the reason why I would frequent Smith Hall. The art room was ran by some individuals as well, and we ain't talking about no Bloods and no Crips. We're talking about the gay dudes. And in fact, the 2 gay individuals who ran the art room were actually boyfriend and boyfriend. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I got no issue with gay folks at all. And the 2 people in question who ran this art room, I was pretty cool with the both of them. I actually was a Prison Dr. Phil before I came home and started doing Prison Dr. Phil on YouTube. Because, you know, it would be every other day where either boyfriend number 1 was coming up to me talking about, hey, Joe, boss, well, you ain't gonna believe this. Hey, you know what my girl was doing out on the track, though? I seen my girl, who really a dude, walking around with this other dude that joint ain't feel too good in my stomach, Joe. I'm trying to tell you. Why are you telling me this? I truly don't care. Look, I mean, look. You know, he's only got eyes for you. So what, he was walking around with another guy who's got him in the back shower after 4 o'clock every day? You do. You got him in the back shower every day after 4 o'clock. You. Or it would be the other one pretty much coming up to me saying the same exact thing, only different. Oh my God, Joe. Oh my God, Joe. Joe, listen to me. You're never gonna believe what my man sat in the chow hall today at lunch. He sat with that other bitch, I swear to God, Joe. Listen, lady man. Look, what are you worried about? You know what? You guys are like made for each other. You're really made. You guys are such a cute couple. So cute. So what? There probably wasn't a seat available. Maybe he didn't see you. I know. How could he not see you? Everybody sees you. I get it. You know, I had a lot of friends at this prison who were really good artists, and they would refuse to come to the art class because of this right here. And like, to me, that was like immature. It really was. I'm not going in there. Joe, I'm not going to the art class. I'm not going. Yeah, you hear that bass in my voice. I'm not going to the art class, Joe. Okay, I'm going though. You sit in group and let this woman tell you about her addiction to cake. I'll be in the art class drawing pictures, having a good old time. You know, the art class was a way to get away, a place to hide, to duck group, to, get away. Maybe the gym was shut down, or maybe you couldn't go anywhere else. You went to the art class. Plus, you could get supplies there. You could pass contraband there. The art class was like the lowdown. And there was a lot more than some contraband getting passed on the lowdown, but that's not really what this is all about. But folks, I call what I'm getting ready to share with you the prison version of that movie, The Notebook. And again, my hand to God, this really happened. Now, for those of you who have seen The Notebook, or if you haven't seen The Notebook, you know that this movie is about a guy who falls in love with a girl. They end up not being together, but the guy can't stop thinking about the girl. He's probably deranged and psychotic for what he does. But throughout the time that they're apart, this man builds the woman a house, and then they end up getting back together. They see the house, yada, yada, a lot of tears. You're gonna need a Kleenex for this movie. The ultimate chick flick. It's about a love story where a man builds a woman a house who he ends up being with. And they probably spend the rest of their life together, happily ever after. The end. Well, wouldn't you know? I saw the same exact thing, sort of, except the gay prison version of it, happen in prison, involving boyfriend number one and boyfriend number two. And I gotta be honest with you, it was probably one of the craziest times to ever be alive, especially in prison. You would have all sorts of little different events that would take place at this prison. Talent shows where the rap class would get up there and sing the latest Tekashi song. Art fairs, things of that nature. And I want to say that when this took place, there must have been an art fair that was getting ready to happen. Well, during this time, I would begin to notice that boyfriend number one, the man in this situation, would be collecting all of these cardboard boxes, big boxes. And at first I had no idea what this guy was doing. Now the art room actually had like a spillover room right across the hall that was completely empty. So boyfriend number one just started putting all these cardboard boxes in that room. And then I start seeing him with a pencil tucked behind his ear. He's got his little paper ruler out. He's got his little cardboard level that he's made. And this guy looks like a bona fide contractor over the course of the next few days. And every day that I'm there in the art room, this guy is over in the spillover room, which is empty minus his cardboard boxes. And he's cutting up all these boxes. I wasn't really paying too much mind to what he was doing at first, but then, curiosity got the better of me. And I really wanted to find out what this dude was up to. So I would walk over there and check out what this guy had going on. And, I figured he was just making something for the art fair. And what I saw, folks, I couldn't believe this. This man was constructing a cardboard house. And we're not talking about something you might see a homeless person sleeping behind a 7-Eleven in. No, folks, this man built him a sure enough Barbie house, life-size, mind you, out of cardboard. So much detail went into this thing that he had literally painted siding on this house, windows and shutters. There was a front door. He painted the shingles on this thing. He painted a red chimney on this. This house rivaled like a kid's playhouse that you might find at Walmart, except it was made out of cardboard. And when I first saw this creation that he had made, one, I had no idea, that he was so nice at building things out of cardboard or any type of a sculptor. I just knew that he was going to win first place in whatever type of art fair was upcoming. But as I'm in shock and awe of this creation that he's made, I also realized while looking at this thing, this thing is just big enough for two grown men to fit up inside of in prison. And though I would never comment on that realization, I would ask boyfriend number one what the hell he was doing. And folks, I will never forget his response to me. Joe, I'm trying to tell you already know what I'm doing. Look at this though. This joint belong in one of them home improvement magazines right here. Boy, I built this for my lady. I built me and my lady a house. That's for me and her. It's our first house. Now I know that some of you are probably like, Joe, this is absolutely crazy. You might not even believe this. But like I said, this really did happen, and folks, we ain't even to the good part yet. Now, as boyfriend number one was telling me about this house that he built for him and his boyfriend, I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting mad right now, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, this is prison, right? This is supposed to be prison. You don't do this in prison. That's what I'm thinking. But my reaction to that, of course, I don't want no problems. I'm just like, wow, damn, that is amazing. That belongs in one of those magazines like you're talking about. My God, he will be amazed by this creation. I bet you I would go as far as to wager that nobody has ever done anything that nice for him before. Now, folks, it wouldn't take long before word spread like wildfire across the prison, and I'm not going to sit here and lie. I probably had a lot to do with that, because I can imagine that everybody I saw, I told, yo, you ain't never going to believe this. We ain't in prison. I don't know where we at, but yo, this dude just built a cardboard house for his boyfriend. Oh my God. You gotta come see this. You have gotta come see that. I'm not kidding. I'm for real. Yeah, I'll admit I probably had a little bit to do with the gossip spreading on this. You know, after that, there would be people who would come to Smith Hall just to see this with their own eyes, because they couldn't believe it. Yo, you mean to tell me this man built another man a cardboard house though, and that joint looks like it's up to code? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a building inspector come out and check it as well. Now, you would imagine, like I said, with the fact that nobody had probably ever done anything this nice for this person before, that their reaction would be that of absolute gratefulness, humbleness, so much love. That wasn't really the reaction at all. And in fact, I think what the reaction was, if I can remember correctly, was that boyfriend number two's head just got filled up so much with like an ego. You already know what he built for me. He built me a cardboard house, girl. He built me a cardboard house. It's up there in Smith Hall. Go look for yourself if you don't believe me. My man built me a cardboard house, our first home. What your man do? He wrote you a note. He wrote you a note. He wrote you a note. Tell him to get some cardboard. Step his game. What the? Wow, that was a little too much. Yeah, he got kind of like full of himself. And tensions, would begin to mount between boyfriend number one and boyfriend number two. Boyfriend number one was feeling like, yo, you don't appreciate what I did for you. Yeah, he was feeling like it wasn't appreciated, all the effort and tape that went into this, and paint, trying to make this house and make sure it passes inspection as well. All the while, boyfriend number two is, I expect this. I expect nothing less. You better not do nothing less than this. Get you some more cardboard. Whew. Boy, all these skits are killing me. Tensions would get a little high during this situation, and then they would reach a boiling point, a breaking point, if you will. Where boyfriend number two and boyfriend number one were at, they were in two separate buildings. So the only time that they could really be together was either in Smith Hall or in some bathroom in the gym. Well, with the fact that they weren't in the same building, and I wasn't in a building with either one of them, actually I was across the yard. I was in the 3 building, one was in 5 building, one was in 4 buildings, something like that. I can't honestly remember, but I do remember that this one day I went to the art room and boyfriend number two was in there crying. I walked in as the prison doctor, Phil Wood. I began to draw. I didn't want to hear none of what had happened. I didn't care. Maybe boyfriend number one broke up with him. I don't know, nor did I care. But of course I wouldn't be able to sit there in peace. Boyfriend number two would have to spill the beans telling me. Oh my God, Joe, I made such a mistake. He's never gonna forgive me, is he? Boyfriend number two would tell me that there was this vicious rumor that was going around the prison. I'm surprised it hadn't gotten to me yet, but I would hear it from the horse's mouth. There was a vicious rumor going around the prison that boyfriend number two and the housing unit that he was in had something of a party the night before, involving some prison wine and everybody drinking that prison wine out of shampoo bottles. And boyfriend number two getting just a little bit too tipsy off of the Pruno. And unfortunately, the rumor went a lot further than that, stating that boyfriend number two was actually in the back shower, bartering for a haircut from a guy that actually cut my hair who never again did. Yeah, the rumor was that everybody got drunk. Hey, blame it on the prison wine. What happens in prison stays in prison when you're drinking the Pruno. A guy who had cut my hair a time or two was rumored to be involved in some sort of a trade for a haircut. Now, I don't want to have to go too deep into this, but keep in mind, this guy that had cut my hair a time or two, he was offering up a haircut. You get where I'm going with what boyfriend number two was offering? Now, as boyfriend number 2 told me this story, I absolutely believed that it happened. I believed it to be true, but I didn't know what boyfriend number 1's reaction to this would be. I had to assume that he had already heard about this, but it is what it is. I imagine that boyfriend number 1 had already heard this news. So I'm trying to console somewhat, completely hands-free, boyfriend number 2, saying, hey, look, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be, do not touch me. It's gonna be okay. Stay over there. Look, he'll forgive you. How mad could he really be? Accidents happen. He'll forgive you. Stay over there. Stay over there. Oh my God, Joe, he'll never forgive me. He will never forgive me. Never forgive me. Go look at the house that he built for us. He's destroyed it. What? No way. You gotta be shitting me, right? No. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm saying they just opened the yard up. There's no way he could have got up here. I walked across the hall, folks, and make no mistake of it. Don't know when it happened. The house that was built for these 2 men to live out the rest of their prison lives together in was no more. See, in the movie The Notebook, it definitely didn't end like this. But if it did, though, it might have been a better movie. When I saw this cardboard creation, big enough for 2 grown men to fit in at one time, it was no more. This thing looked like it had been destroyed by a bulldozer. But a bulldozer couldn't do the type of a tornado is more what it looked like. This thing was torn apart. Everything torn. The chimney, trashed. This thing was completely torn apart and decimated. Destroyed. And this didn't look like a tornado had hit this. This looked like a rage-nado. I just made that up. Hit this. This looked like this was done in such a fit of rage. Passionate rage. The house that was once built for 2 gay lovers in prison was no more. It was, by far, one of the weirdest, disturbing stories at first. Like, oh God, like, you know the type of stuff that happens. Now we're building houses for each other. Like, at first it was really weird, but it was also really funny. But when I saw, the heartbreak that went into the destruction of this cardboard house that was barely held together by tape in the first place, even though it was damn near piss my pants funny. I can't sit here and lie. It almost was a little emotional. My God. That man really must have got his heart broken. I'm not crying up in the shower. I got soap in my eye. Leave me alone. In conclusion to this prison romance story, there's just a little bit more. They would patch things up eventually. It would take a little while. They would begin to talk again. They would be together again. So, I don't want you to feel like, no. It was meant to be, or at least somewhat meant to be. They would end up getting back together again. And then boyfriend number 2, the one who wore the lady pants in this situation, he would end up going home first. And it would only be boyfriend number 1. He was definitely sad about this for quite a long time. But eventually he would get over it. And I can remember this one day he came up to me while I was in the gym and he wanted to show me some pictures. And mind you, I used to sell the prison porn pictures, so, when he was asking to show me these pictures, I figured, okay, your man done gone home, boy, you're back on the... He showed me these pictures. They could have been anything, for God's sake. Could have been dudes he was showing me, but they were pictures of a girl, a super hot chick. And when I saw these pictures, they weren't nudes. They were just pictures he got sent in. I was like, man, I always knew you had a girl out there. So I'm looking at these and I'm like, damn, who was that? Wait a minute, that's that dude that just went home. Damn, though. He looked like a lady out there. I almost fell for the okie doke. I was mad about that situation too. I would have fought him if I was a convict. But instead I just reacted saying, man, take these pictures back, man. I ain't trying to see that. That is crazy though. Damn, boy. Get out of my face with that. And as far as I know, boyfriend number 1 would end up finally getting released. And I don't know if they've been together ever since. I don't know anything because I just don't know. But all I know is in prison, it was one of the greatest love stories that I ever saw in my life. Hey, look, that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this crazy video. And if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day.